What's going on, traders? Few things to talk about. What an absolutely insane day. We have to talk about it because what happened today was just mind-blowing. So let's get straight into it. Like, subscribe, comment your thoughts below. Let's get into the video. So right now, we're looking at the SPY 4-hour time frame, and you have yourself a double bottom. You also broke the neckline of this double bottom, therefore confirming that this is a double bottom, right? So you have your bottom here, your neckline is at 525. You broke above 525. Not only did you break above it, but you closed above 525, and then you also broke above this falling channel. Not to be confused with a bull flag. This is a falling channel. Why? Because there's no flagpole for this to be a bull flag. So you're looking pretty good so far as in regards to the overall market, or at least for the SPY right now, right? Now, if we measure the projected move of this double bottom from the neckline to the previous bottom, and we bring this measurement up to the neckline, we can head as high as the 570s on the SPY. Now, as long as the SPY stays above 540, you're looking good, or you open up the floodgates to 570. Now, obviously 550 is a pretty important psych level, so we want to keep that in mind as well. The SPY absolutely tanked after hours, so that's insane, but we'll see. All right, after hours I don't really take seriously unless it's like a really dramatic move, but ultimately you're looking pretty good on the SPY. You have a double bottom, you have the neckline break, you broke above this falling channel, you're above 540. Ideally, I want to see a move above 550, but you're looking good for a move towards 570. Triple Qs, same thing. You got a double bottom, right? You have a neckline break of the double bottom, so that confirms that this is an actual double bottom. Again, you're looking pretty good. You got the bottom here, and if you measure the projected move of this double bottom from the neckline to the previous bottom, right, you're looking at a move all the way towards 480 on the triple Qs. As long as you stay above 460, you open up the floodgates to 470 as well. Now, what's important to note here is that you very much could retest the neckline of this double bottom, right? You could easily just do one of these before heading back towards the upside. All right, so I want you guys to keep that in mind as well. I'm not guaranteeing that's going to happen. We can easily just continue to the upside tomorrow, but it's very much possible we get maybe bad news in the morning or something like that, and then head back down to retest this neckline, and then we'll have to see what happens from there. Now, there is one thing that is bothering me, right? If we go to the weekly time frame for the triple Qs, let's get rid of this. You closed at below this trend line right here. Okay, you closed below this trend line right here. So that's concerning. Okay, that is concerning. So I don't want to marry the idea of upside, especially considering how fast we move to the upside. It's pretty normal for the market to tank fast, but when you move this fast within one day to the upside, it's concerning. Okay, one thing I always talk to you guys about, or at least tell you guys about, is that you want to see a staircase up, elevator down. Anytime you see a staircase, elevator up, you should proceed with caution. Okay, you should proceed with caution. So the upside move, great, looks great so far, but again, just be careful. Okay, just be careful heading into the rest of this week. If you look at the Nasdaq, you're looking at the same thing in regards to the Nasdaq, right? The weekly time frame, you hit this trend line, you bounced here, you did your dance here, right? But you hit this trend line and you're currently trading, you're kind of face planting into it, right? You can easily get above it, right, based on whatever news we get tomorrow. But right now, again, you just want to be careful here. ES, okay, ES, you're above the trend line here, so that is a good sign. But the day for the futures is not over, or, you know, the daily time frame is not complete for the futures just yet, so we'll have to wait and see. But again, you have another double bottom on the ES. You got your bottom here, and then you have another bottom here, and then your neckline is at around 5,300. Wait, yeah, 5,330, right? So you are somewhat breaking towards the upside, right? And again, if you measure the measured move for this double bottom, so from the neckline to the bottom here, if I can, there we go. You're looking at a move all the way towards 5,700, 5,800. Okay, so you're seeing these double bottoms everywhere. Okay, pretty good sign, I would say. Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, you're pretty much seeing the same thing. We go to the, yeah, we're already on the 4-hour. You go to the 4-hour time frame on Bitcoin. Again, you have a double bottom. Okay, bottom here, bottom there. and then your neckline is at around 81K. You can easily, okay, again, you can retest these necklines. Okay, I want to make that clear. You can retest these necklines before heading higher. So your neckline is at around 81K before heading higher on Bitcoin. All right, so I want you guys to keep that in mind. The measured projected move for this, again, I believe it's like 88K. So yeah, around 88K. All right, now, again, something is bothering me here. Okay, when it comes to Bitcoin. Double bottom, great. Looks clean. I mean, I can't argue this. You go to the daily time frame, you have depth crossed on Bitcoin, right? So I wouldn't say we can go as high as 88K. I would just lowball it and say about 84, 86K, and then we'll have to wait and see what happens from there. But so far, you're looking pretty good when it comes to Bitcoin. Your key level here is 81K, around 81,200, 300, give or take. And yeah, again, we'll have to wait and see what happens when it comes to Bitcoin, and keep this depth cross in mind. All right, Nvidia. So Nvidia, you're kind of looking at the same scenario here. Now, what I will say is on the smaller time frames, you did create a higher low. You got your low here, higher low here. You can argue this is a double bottom. I don't think this is a double bottom. It's not. I mean, they're not even close, but it's up to you, right? Do what you want. But if you look here, you are above 105. That is a good sign for Nvidia. Okay, 105, 106, give or take. So as long as you stay above 105, you're looking at a move towards 120 on Nvidia. So I do think Nvidia has the potential to see more upside, right? But if you go to the daily time frame, again, you have this double, what is it? Depth cross. I was about to say double cross, depth cross, right? And it looks like you're heading towards the 50 MA at around 120. So you definitely want to be careful here. All right, Apple. I mean, I gave you guys the keys to the city when it came to Apple, man. Now, Apple did officially depth cross today. Scary stuff, okay? Scary stuff. But I gave you guys the keys to the city. I told you guys Apple is a buy at 183 for a long-term position. So hopefully someone listened. I'm sure a lot of you didn't, because, you know, the market has conditioned you not to buy anything until whatever happens. But this is what I've been talking about for quite some time, right? I said this in the last buy the dip video, where I was pretty much letting you guys know that you don't know what our president is going to do next, right? You don't know if he can easily change his mind. Just as fast as we got a Black Swan event, it can easily get taken away, right? Just as fast. So, and you witnessed what happened today. So all of you that was like, oh, I'm going to wait for the next drop and all that fun stuff, well, you missed out. Had you jumped into Apple shares, I got in at around 177, you know, you'll be up $20 per share, more or less, right? $20 per share. So easy bag, right? And like I said before, you just don't know what our president is going to do next. He's known to change his mind over and over and over, right? So this is what happens with retail trade. This is why retail traders are called dumb money, right? This is why they're called dumb money, because they're bad at investing. They're bad at understanding when they need to invest. You're talking about a 30% discount on Apple. If we go to the weekly time frame here, right? You go to the weekly time frame and you're looking at the 200 MA on a weekly. Historically, and I said this in the Apple video, historically, Apple has bounced off the 200 MA on a weekly time frame 100% of the time. 100% of the time. So why wouldn't you buy here, right? So it makes sense to me. So I alerted to Discord members that I'm investing into Apple shares here at around 177, right? My average is like 140 or something like that. And I mean, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So Discord members are eating off of that. Tesla, I mean, I told you guys about Tesla. I told you guys I'm buying Tesla at 220, right? 220 was my buy for Tesla. I did not care if it goes further down. I'm going to buy Tesla when it's at a 50% discount. You're talking about a move all the way from, you're talking about a move all the way from 500 to 200, right? All the way to the low 200s. That's a 50% discount, guys. Why wouldn't you take that? Right? Why wouldn't you take that? If you saw a TV that was $1,000 one day, and then the next day you come back and it's a $500, $400 or something like that, why wouldn't you buy that TV unless you don't need a TV, right? And TV it's just a hypothetical, right? It can be anything. But yeah, we bought Tesla. I alerted that I'm buying Tesla at 220 per share. And now Tesla is up $50 per share, right? And a lot of you laughed in the comments, right? And that's cool. You know, he said I was buying too early, blah, blah, blah. But this is how the market conditions you. The market conditions you to think that, you know, you or give you PTSD and thinking that everything is about to be a rug pull. And so instead of focusing on numbers or targets, you should focus on percentages, right? You should focus on how much you're getting discounted on a stock, right? So even if you thought Tesla was dropping again, right? Let's say you think Tesla's heading to 150, you could have easily jumped in at 220 and took your profit at before close today at 270, made $50 per share. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Today in the Discord, I alerted to Discord members that I am entering Uber shares or adding Uber shares to my long-term portfolio. Right, we got in at $66 per share. This was literally right before Trump announced his whole thing with tariffs, how he was going to postpone tariffs for 90 days for a lot of countries. We got in at $66 per share. Here it is, adding Uber shares to my long-term port at 12:40 p.m. All right, feel free to check the times on when Trump alerted everybody that he's I guess he's going to save the market or whatever. But we got in at 66. Uber's up $72 per share. We're up $5 per share on Uber. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful, right? A lot of you laughed about Google, right? I said I entered Google shares. I alerted Discord members I'm in Google shares at 152, 150, somewhere around there, and I'm going to dollar cost average at 140, right? Now Google is up to 158. This is what I was talking about. I was telling you guys that you just don't know when a rate cut's going to happen. You don't know when Trump is going to pull back from tariffs, and he can do it all over again, right? He can be like, you know what, I changed my mind again, right? But you don't take chances like that, right? You don't take chances like that and avoid buying the dip, right? And this is the problem a lot of retail traders have. The market will hit all-time highs and they'll be like, oh man, I should have bought Tesla at this price. I should have bought Apple at this price. Man, Apple was so cheap back then. Next dip, I'm going to totally buy Apple, right? Next dip, I'm going to buy Apple. And then when that dip comes, you don't buy. And then you're like, oh, no, I think Apple's going to drop even more. And then that next dip comes, you don't buy. And then the next dip comes and you don't buy, right? And then you keep repeating the same cycle. And then when the market starts going crazy towards the upside and rallying all over again, now you're chasing the upside, right? Now you're chasing the upside at this point, right? So, I mean, I'm here to help you guys, but you can only do so much for yourself. You gotta stop. You gotta stop worrying about price targets, or not even price targets, but just key targets like, you know, oh, Apple's gonna drop to 165. That's when I'm gonna buy, right? You don't know for sure if that's gonna happen, right? You just don't know 100%. I don't know 100% of the time if my targets are gonna hit, right? Am I confident? Sure, but does it mean it has to happen? No. Okay, so hopefully we get the idea on how important long-term investing is, right? SOXL, I alerted to Discord members. We're looking at the weekly time frame here. You bounced here, you bounced here. SOXL hit this same trend line again and bounced off of it. We invested into XOXL at $13 per share. I alerted to Discord members that I'm dollar cost averaging at $10 per share. I'm in profit now, right? Again, bounced here, you're bouncing again here. Can it head lower? Sure. Do I know that for certain? No, especially with how unhinged our president is. But this is the time you buy, right? These are the opportunities you buy. You're talking about an 80% discount on SOXL, right? And I know it's leverage and all that other stuff. I don't plan on holding this thing for the rest of my life. I plan on taking profit around $15, $20, right? But that's what we're looking at when it comes to the market. AMD, this thing is definitely an advanced money destroyer, right? But AMD hits this trend, it's bounced off this historically, it's bounced off this trend every single time at $80. $80. Had you bought AMD shares, right, you would be up $16 per share. I don't make this stuff up, guys. I've been doing this for 12 years. Okay, you can let the haters in the comments say what they want, but clearly they don't know what they're talking about. Clearly they don't know what they're doing when it comes to long-term investing, right? But again, overall, things do look pretty good. I would just urge caution here. If you look at the VIX, it looks like the VIX wants to head towards the $30 target right here. And then there is we go to the daily time frame actually, there is a gap all the way towards 22, the low $22 range, or the low 22 strike range, I should say. But yeah, VIX can easily hit this 30 strike range and potentially bounce from here, so I will be careful. You just have nothing but space and opportunity, so I do think the VIX can definitely hit this by at least tomorrow, and then you have to wait and see what happens from there. But other than that, that's really all I have. Discord link is in the description below, guys. Let me know what you guys think. I think today was absolutely crazy. The fact that Trump pretty much said, hey, you should buy DJT, his stock or whatever, his little ETF or whatever. And then he calls off tariffs for 90 days, like an hour later. Is just pure, it's crazy manipulation. Not only that, but think about this. Yesterday, we got fake news, supposed fake news, right? Fake news that Trump was going to postpone tariffs for 90 days. And the market like jolted to the upside. And then today we get that same news, except this time is real. That's evil, evil work. Like blatant manipulation in our face is insane. But like I say, if you can't beat the manipulation, join the manipulation. But let me know what you guys think about that in the comments below. I thought that was insane. We got the same news yesterday, but they said it was fake. So that tells you that there was clearly insiders on this news. They were right. It wasn't fake news. It was just wasn't for that. It just wasn't for that yesterday. That's crazy. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Until the next video, traders. Have a good one.